Hi everybody, welcome back to this new video. Today I'm going to be moving into my second bullet journal of 2021. If you didn't know, I always use 2 bullet journals for 1 year because otherwise I won't be able to fit in all my spreads. Both journals I'm using this year are from Archer&Olive with this cute sparkly design on the cover, but there is a slight difference because the first journal I used this year has a little bit more pages, 192, while the new one has only 160. You can see that a little bit here, and that's also why I am moving into the new journal right before August and not right before July like most people would do. I always like to match my beginning of the BuJos spreads to the cover of my journals, so for the first one I chose a simple black and white theme but also kind of incorporated the stars and the moon on the cover. So I didn't want to recreate that exactly for my second journal, but I am still going for a black and white theme, which I kind of sketched out here in my last journal. I made a little bit of a moving BuJos planning spread, but you'll see the design that I'm doing a little bit in a few seconds. I'm starting off by adding my name to the first page, and then I'm already going in with my design elements, which are stamps this time. I'm using these cute flower stamps that I have, and I'm just using that to decorate the boxes and headers that I'm adding throughout the setup. And what I'm adding here next to my name spread is my key with all the little symbols I'm using in my bullet journal when I use it daily. I don't really need this key because I already know what I'm using on a day-to-day basis, but I still like to have it. Next up we have my title page for the whole journal, and I'm just adding 2021 in big bold numbers, really big font, and using my flower stamps to accentuate here and there, and then just going in and outlining it with my black pen and then coloring it in with the same pen but the different tip, the larger one. And then to symbolize that this is my second journal of the year, I put a little bit of a lettering saying part 2 underneath the big bold 2021. Moving on, and this next spread is my yearly log, and I am dividing the space I have on the double page into 6 spaces, but because I only have 5 months left that I am going to be doing in this bullet journal, I used one of the 6 spaces for my heading, which says future log, and for the log part I'm doing the same thing that I did for my title page with the flower stamps and the big lettering, and then for the future I did a bit of a brush lettering. And for the rest of the spread I'm just doing 5 big boxes in which I will put any dates or events that I have for the next 5 months of 2021. When I set up my second bullet journal of the year, it's always a bit shorter and has fewer spreads than the first one because some spreads like my theme gallery or my photo a month spread I still continue on in my first journal because I want to have all of them on the same spread, so I don't want to have 5 of them in the new journal and the rest in the first journal. So because of that I'm only doing very few spreads in this setup, which is also why this video is a bit shorter. But the next spread that I'm doing is a 2022 at a glance, which is for any appointments or events I might have in the next year, because as we move to the end of 2021 there are going to be appointments that will be set in the next year and I need to have a place to kind of just jot them down. So I'm doing just a one-page version of the spread we just did for 2021, just so I can add any dates I need to remember for the coming year. And the last spread that I'm doing for this setup is my period tracker, which is really important and I recommend it to anyone who has a period. Basically, I just write down all the days of the 5 months I have left in 2021 in a vertical line along the page, and then I will mark off with a fineliner or a marker on which days I have my period. This is also a good spread layout if you want to track if you have any kind of pain or any doctor's appointments that you need to keep track of. Anything really where you need to see at a glance on what days of the month you experience something, whether that be for your health or anything else. I use it for my period and it's been working really well for me. I never liked these apps that you can put on your phone and track your period, so I do that in my journal. And on the right here you can see I have a little bit of space left and I'm just gonna add a little legend there later. But that is pretty much it for this video. As I mentioned, I don't set up that many spreads when I move into my second journal of a year, just because I don't really need that many and I don't want to set up spreads that I'm not going to end up using. But design-wise, I really like how these spreads came out. I like how the stamps look and that it isn't completely the same like what I did in my last journal. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up and maybe hit that subscribe button. I would love that. And of course, I am very happy to see you in my next video when I set up my August bullet journal. Bye!